Did you know there's a radio station that's been broadcasting the same hour for decades? An hour that never ends. No one knows where the signal comes from. No official record lists the frequency. But if you tune your dial just right, somewhere between static and silence, you might catch it. A voice. Calm, familiar. Reading headlines that never change. Playing songs that don't exist anywhere else. They call it the radio loop. The first known mention came from 1953 in the small town of Ashwood, Illinois. Locals began reporting strange transmissions on an unlisted AM frequency, 103.6. It was always the same DJ. A smooth, old-fashioned voice introducing himself as, "This is DJ Marlowe and you're listening to the Night Loop, broadcasting live, all night, every night." The broadcast lasted exactly 1 hour. Then it would fade out mid-song, only to restart again. Same intro, same words, same playlist, as if time itself had reset. At first, no one paid much attention. But then, something strange happened. A trucker named Ray Delman claimed to have heard the broadcast while driving through 3 different states, all within the same night. He swore the show followed him. No matter how far he drove, the frequency stayed crystal clear. Ray said the music was beautiful, haunting. Old jazz and swing songs he'd never heard before, filled with strange minor chords and whispered backing vocals. But when he tried to record the station on his cassette player, the tape came back blank. Only the faint sound of breathing. The government dismissed it as signal interference. But in 1961, an FCC investigator named Howard Bell decided to look into it. Bell was meticulous, the kind of man who believed everything had an explanation. He triangulated the mysterious signal and traced it to the outskirts of Ashwood, near an abandoned building that used to be WZPX Radio. The station had burned down in 1947. Everyone inside, including its late-night host Arthur Marlowe, was killed in the fire. Bell went to inspect the ruins. All that remained were the rusted frame of the broadcast tower and the scorched remains of a sound booth. But when he turned on his radio, 103.6 came through, clear as day, and the DJ's voice said, "Good evening, Howard. We've been waiting for you." Bell dropped his radio and ran. The next day, his car was found near the ruins, engine running, door open. He was gone. But a week later, an FCC operator monitoring local frequencies reported something new. A new segment had appeared on the radio loop. After the final song of the hour, a scratchy, echoing tune titled "When the Fire Sleeps." The DJ's voice returned. "And remember, listeners, if you see Howard out there on the road, tell him we miss him." Over the decades, the legend spread. People claimed to hear the radio loop during long drives, during power outages, or even through old transistor radios that weren't turned on. One family in 1979 reported hearing it through their baby monitor. Another man said his ham radio picked it up every night at 2:13 a.m., no matter what frequency he was on. Each time the same hour played, the same DJ, the same words. You're listening to the Night Loop, keeping you company through the endless hour. In 1994, a college student named Megan Holt became obsessed with the mystery. She was studying sound engineering and decided to dedicate her thesis to phantom frequencies, unexplained radio transmissions. She built custom receivers, mapped signal patterns, and claimed to have found a faint echo of the radio loop's transmission beneath the white noise on dozens of local channels. But what she discovered next changed everything. By aligning recordings from multiple nights, she realized that each hour wasn't identical. There were small differences, half-second shifts, faint whispers in the background, changes in tone. It was as if every time the loop restarted, it was slightly off, like someone replaying a memory that's starting to decay. Her last journal entry was dated October 21st, 1995. She wrote, "He spoke to me tonight. He said my name. He said he liked my voice." That was the night her roommate reported hearing Megan's stereo playing softly from behind her locked bedroom door, an old jazz song that no one could identify. When the police broke in, Megan was gone. The only thing left was her recorder, still running. On the tape, DJ Marlowe's voice could be heard saying, "Welcome, Megan. Your hour begins now." Then static and silence. By the early 2000s, the radio loop had become an urban legend. Podcasts, message boards, and conspiracy blogs were full of people claiming to have heard it. But no one could provide real evidence. Every attempt to record the broadcast failed. Every file shared online eventually corrupted, replaced by static and the faint hum of a voice counting down from 60. But then in 2011, something resurfaced. A retired sound technician posted on a paranormal forum under the name Loopbreaker. He claimed he'd worked maintenance for regional radio towers and once caught the loop, transmitting through modern FM bandwidth. He uploaded what he said was a 1-minute clip. At first it was just noise. Then, a clear voice, old and weary. "We keep the hour alive, so the world remembers what was lost." Then a strange sound followed, the unmistakable crackle of fire. Experts who analyzed the file said it contained frequencies no human ear could produce, the kind found only in the static between AM and FM ranges. But more disturbing was the metadata embedded in the audio. The timestamp read, July 4th, 1947, 11:59 p.m., the exact time the WZPX station had burned down. Some say the radio loop isn't a broadcast at all, but a recording of the last hour before the fire, repeating forever. That every time it plays, it's trying to finish what was interrupted. Others believe it's a trap, a siren frequency that lures listeners in, pulling their minds into the same endless hour that trapped DJ Marlowe. And the more people who tune in, the stronger the signal becomes. In 2017, a group of amateur ghost hunters drove to the ruins of WZPX to stream a live investigation. They set up EMF readers, cameras, and portable radios. Around midnight, one of the radios came to life, 103.6, as clear as if the tower still stood. The host's voice returned. "Good evening, night travelers. It's been a while." The team froze. One of them asked if anyone was rebroadcasting the old station. The voice replied, "No rebroadcast here, friend, just one endless show. 1 hour, forever." Moments later, the live stream cut out. When it came back online, the team was gone. The cameras continued to roll for exactly 60 minutes before repeating the same footage, looping again and again. Locals still report hearing faint jazz drifting through the fog near the ruins. Sometimes when storms roll in and lightning strikes the old tower, the signal returns. You can hear the DJ's voice, calm and warm, speaking to you like an old friend. "Time doesn't move here anymore," he says. "The world spins, but we stay. Someone has to keep the airwaves alive." Then, after a pause, "And if you're listening, you're already part of the show." There's a theory that every time someone hears the radio loop, a new hour begins. Another copy of the same moment preserved in the static. And that's why it can be heard across the country, across decades, because each listener creates their own version, each caught inside their own loop. A few years ago, a radio hobbyist claimed to have found the original broadcast tower hidden underground, buried beneath layers of ash and soil. He said the control board was still humming, faintly warm to the touch, and that on the single surviving vinyl record inside the booth. A voice could be heard saying, "The fire took us, but not our signal. If anyone hears this, don't turn the dial. Don't break the loop." To this day, no official record of the radio loop exists. But some people claim if you stay up late enough, between 2 and 3 a.m., and scan through the frequencies carefully, you'll hear it. A slow fade-in of static. A soft jazz track that sounds like it's from another world. And then, that same voice. "Good evening, folks. You're listening to The Night Loop. I'll be right here, same time, same place, forever." And if you listen closely beneath the static, you might hear other voices, echoes, people trapped in the background, crying, laughing, begging for someone to turn the dial. But by then, it's too late, because the moment you find the radio loop, it finds you. And the hour begins again.